the object of the preposition on a field is the safe background for the subject to actualize the important action described by the transitive verb count. So we can understand that the subject of boy relies on the object of the preposition on, of field, as a safe place. This place is safe enough for the subject to actualize the action described by the transitive verb count. The speaker sets the various subject as the object of the transitive verb count. The speaker has the perspective that the object of the preposition on is the constant base independent of the various subjects of the transitive verb. After we figure out the importance of the object of field, we do not care what the subject do. What the object of the transitive verb is. With every object, the fact that the object of the preposition on a field is a safe place is constant. This is focused by the speaker. So the phrase of the verb that the transitive verb count and the preposition on compose conveys the derived definition that the subject of the transitive verb relies on the object of the preposition on. So what if the speaker does not state the object of the transitive verb? Still, the subject, a boy, is described to rely on the object of the preposition on, a field, as the supportive background. The phrase of the verb count on applied in this clause conveys the fused definition that the subject, a boy, of the transitive verb count rely on the object of field of the preposition. This phenomenon is apprehensible as a fusion of descriptions, as the same principle that the phrase of the prepositions, for example, across, from, mediates a subject-object relationship is applied. In this class, in the third class, the object of the preposition of field is relocated into the object of the transitive verb count. The listeners consider the possibility that the definition of the transitive verb count in the phrase of the transitive verb counts on is able to be interpreted into the applied definition from the original definition. The speaker and the listeners who participate in the conversation recognize that the transitive verb count is able to be interpreted into the original definition or the applied definition. The definition of the transitive verb count is determined according to the object of the preposition on. From the combination of the two expressions, count and on, we accept the interpretation of the phrase of the transitive verb and the preposition to have the same definition as the other phrases rely on and sorry, depend on Jesus Christ. And in this clause, we can see that the accepted definition that the transitive verb counts and the preposition on deliver can be kept or can be changed. In the case that the definition of count on, the phrase count on is kept, the speaker intends to deliver the intent that the subject is reliant on object. And in the relocation of the object of field as the supportive background, the speaker keeps the definition of the two words into the transitive verb count, like condensed. The two words forming a phrase of a transitive verb that delivers the definition to rely on or to depend on is fused into the definition of the transitive verb count. So that can be the applied definition of the transitive verb count. And the original definition of the transitive verb count is still constant to figure out the number of the object. The speaker converts the object of the preposition on into the object of the transitive verb count. There is a relocation. The listeners understand the intention of the speaker earlier, before the preposition on is stated by the speaker, who intends the transitive verb count to be interpreted into the applied definition to be reliant on, with the preceded object of the transitive verb. So the speaker prevents the possibility that the definition of the transitive verb count is interpreted into the original definition. In this clause, the object of the preposition on is vacant. The object is not stated because it was relocated, and this relocation makes us sure of the fact that the definition of the transitive verb count is different from the original definition. This verb is going to be interpreted into the applied definition. Then we will replace the object of the transitive verb count that was relocated from the object of the preposition on into a pronoun, it. The pronoun it. There are two expressions. The first one is only valid. The speaker replaces the object of the transitive verb count or the preposition on with the pronoun it on the premise that the speaker and the listeners participating in the conversation identify the object indicated by the pronoun. This explanation is about applying a pronoun instead of a noun.